guys, but I would like for if there is anyone who is willing to, share their screen, you can raise your hand up and I will let you share your phone screen. We'll go into your camera, and if you don't have grids turned on already, if you do not have grids turned on already, um, so anyone, early volunteers, any takers, who's brave.
Hi, Somto. So I think we have Oluchukwu Ifeoma's hand. We also have Akima Ali, um, Inspired Daddy. So whichever person you want to go first, let us know while we give the person permission to share. Thank you.
Okay, let's bring up inspired Adire. Let me stop sharing for a second. Okay, so inspired, let's have you.
You want her to share her screen, and you have to guide her through, right? So if
Oh
you want
yes,
her,
okay. So on the app, okay. On Zoom, you can see the under options or more, you should see share.
Hi,
Can you
Somto.
see that?
Inspired the person declined.
Yeah, I can see it. I
Okay.
didn't decline. Yeah, I
Okay.
can see share.
Okay, so yeah. So
what's she
you should
sharing?
share your entire screen.
My
Okay, then let's go into your
okay,
camera app.
Yes, we can see your screen, Inspired, right? We can see your screen. So he will guide you through how to get.
okay. We are going to my camera.
Yeah. For
Are you there?
also, yeah, we're here. Let the rest of us also follow along. Um, especially those of us that are using, I believe this is an iPhone.
Yes,
Inspired, right? Are you in your camera?
yes.
So what do you
Wait,
want her to do? You're not in your camera yet. I don't see your camera.
yes, yes, I'm there.
Okay, so what do you want her to do? We can see your feet too, Inspired. All
Yeah.
right. So what do you want like her to do? So that
Okay, so go into your camera settings.
Camera settings.
Yes.
Coming.
do you know how to get to your camera settings, Inspired?
That, that's what I'm trying to locate.
Can you guide her through some too? I think let's not make
Okay,
assumptions.
that there's a drop down up that arrow that is up.
That's our top arrow, Inspired.
Bring it down. Yeah.
Okay, I've done that too.
Okay, just go into instead of going from the camera app, go to settings.
Your settings.
Yes, yes. Go to
My
settings.
settings.
It's on
Okay, I'm
Android that
there.
you can go straight.
I'm
Yeah,
on
then go to
settings.
camera.
I'm there.
Then you can see under composition, the first thing there
Com
is grid. Then you can put that, check that.
composition.
Yeah,
You can see
Grid, yes.
the first
It's
thing
on.
grid. Yeah, turn it on.
Yes,
Then now,
yes.
now go back to your camera.
Okay. Okay.
So you see
Okay.
now you have these three, sorry, two vertical lines, two horizontal lines.
Yes.
That's the grid that we need in for
Okay.
composition. So thank
Okay.
you very much
Somto,
for
what does the grid do?
sharing
So,
this.
Somto, can you help? What does the
So
grid help?
we
Right.
would get into that. That's like for the very next thing that I'm
All
going
right.
to talk about.
Thank you.
Okay. All right.
All right. Thank you, Inspired.
Inspire, you can stop sharing. Thank you. Okay.
Yeah. So
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so yeah, for as a recap of turning on the grids, you can go to go to settings, then to camera, then you turn on grids. That's for the iPhone. On Android, it's pretty much the same thing. You can go to the settings directly from your camera, or you go to settings. You go to settings, then under grades and guides, you turn on grades. It gives you on Android, there are some options for other types of grades that are a bit unnecessary at this point. But standard, like even on my phone, I always have grades turned on, and we'll find out why. For in composition now, in composition, like we said, a simple way to understand composition is just the way you arrange things in your picture, or sorry, in your when you're about to take a photograph in such a way that it's able to grab attention or be interesting, or be interesting. So there can we see me? Can we hear me? I think I dropped off. The connection dropped off a bit. Okay, okay. All right, let me go back to sharing again. Um, okay. In composition, as you can see, there are plenty different kinds of composition, or so there are plenty different rules of composition. That's like ways that you can arrange all, that stuff that I said that, over years people have studied and analyzed and kind of like listed down the different kinds of arrangements that will help pictures to be nice or interesting. Now, instead of going through all of this, I will go through the ones that the maybe like the top four, the top three. The number one is this one called rule of thirds. That is the reason why I I said everybody should turn on grades. Now, the rule of thirds, like if you can see these lines now, they are if we count from the edge of each image, the lines intersect at it, at the first edge, this first two intersections, and this, sorry, let me come back. So the rule of thirds pretty much is just putting grid lines that divides your image into three three boxes horizontally, 3 boxes vertically, and so 3 columns, 3 rows. So you divide it into 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now, the rule of third says that you place objects of interest at either the inside of any of these boxes or at the intersection where the lines meet. So say, for example, you are taking a landscape picture, like much like what we have in this example. The things that you want people's eye to catch first, you notice the picture. The two things that are of interest are intersecting at an intersect. Some other person would put, like in this other picture that I'm showing you now, they would put the thing of interest, which is like where this water is gushing out from, is in one of the boxes, the one on the extreme, like the middle one on the right. So the thing of interest is inside one of those boxes. So either you put, like say, okay, I'll run through an example. You would see how I'm going to be trying to frame the images using some of all these composition rules. But the easiest, like rule of thirds is like the easiest and most used composition technique. And it's so easy because your phone has already puts the grid for you in your settings. So once you have that grid, anything, if you are taking picture of a, like maybe a group, and that's another thing now, like there's a group of people, and or maybe there's an, I don't know why I keep using concert as an example, but like it's kind of like the most chaotic situation. So like say maybe there is a concert and Davido is performing on stage and he's in a crowd of people. A way to make him stand out when you're taking the picture is to make his head, or like maybe his chain or his eye, to be at one of all these intersects. For some reason, like, well, for a proven reason, people's eyes just generally gravitate to the weird scientists. Okay, I didn't include it here so that I don't confuse people. There's another rule that we call the golden ratio. I don't even really bother about it, but it was scientifically proven. People use calculation that this particular ratio and is like, okay, I'm getting too technical. So forget about, on your own time, you can Google the golden ratio, but golden ratio still follows rule of thirds. Like it will tell you by the time you do because if you do one spiral like that, what they call the Fibonacci spiral, sorry, it will almost always land in any of all these intersects. So rule of thirds, most of the time, I only just follow it, and it's the number one go-to. Another form of composition is using shapes now. For example, um, um, like in this picture now, we are able to put this our main character in a box in the center of the image. So so the thing is, it's not even just him now. Him and his reflection are in the center of the image and can fit within a box. This picture is actually even following two rules of composition. It's following symmetrical balance, which is that once there is something on one side, it's another thing on the opposite. That is almost the same image, same picture, the same size, thereabout. Then it's also following It's also following patterns. Okay, no, it's not following patterns. It's mainly following rule of thirds and symmetrical balance. Then one of my favorite composition rules is leading lines. This one is that when you take a picture, you can almost inside the picture trace lines that will now join and lead to your main focus in the picture. For example, in this picture that we have, this woman that is in the center of the frame is our main subject. Other elements in picture are helping us to focus on her, which are those lines. The lines from the train track, the lines from the pavement, the lines from that in crossing, all of them are leading to her. So it's one of my very best composition. Um, Here is another more, it's not as obvious as the last picture, but if you now, a lot of times it's even when people sit down and analyze photographs that you see that, oh, there are some lines that led to, that are pointing my eyes in a particular direction. Unlike the other image, this central point, this focus point is not even in the middle, is off to one side, but different things are pointing to it. The shoreline, this part of these rocks that are close to us, the ones on this other side, everything is kind of pointing us into that particular image. I tend to use leading lines mostly in land. You would mostly see it in landscape photography like this, or in street photography, because when there's a lot of different things happening, leading lines will kind of help people to know what to focus on. Then another one that I like a lot is shapes. Um, Here we call it patterns, but I tend to, call them shape, because the shapes eventually form a pattern. Because like, instead of, if it was we were underwater now, and where is a picture of bubbles, instead of these triangles, all these plenty triangles that we have, it will be mostly circles, circles, circles. So it follows two, actually: patterns and diagonal triangles. Diagonal triangles. So we can also say that this follows diagonal triangles, because you can form a right angle triangle with some of these, and even these too. But in this mountain peaks, we can clearly see triangles, 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 and it helps us, know what to focus on. We can clearly see the mountains in the center, the ones by the side, and for some reason, they are not competing with each other. We can see and appreciate all of them almost all at once. So, um, all these rules come into play. They can so like in a situation where maybe you go to the island and you go to civic center, You know, the top of civic center have those like very diagonal uh, um, architects in the building. You guys could help me. That's now that's in that you people like to design those sharp edges. So those are diagonal triangles. I could take the picture in a way that really emphasizes those triangles, and it will, instead of like maybe just taking the picture straight, but I could take it at an angle where those edges are the emphasis. And for some reason, it would be much more interesting than a picture that may have been taken straight on. So that is the power of composition. So I want to give the mic to another person. We are going to show like a couple of images, and you tell me what, or do you know what? Let me just throw this open to the entire house. Just put in the chat box what you guys think, what composition you think is being used in the two images I'm about to show. Let's start with the image on the left. What composition style do you think is being used here? I think I made this before. Do we have price for we have discussed this with Mr. Godwin. So Neto Chuku says rule of thirds. Tony says rule of thirds. Welma says rule of thirds. Pedro says leading lines. Reformer says rule of thirds. Inspire says rule of thirds. So I have a lot of rule of thirds. Okay, some symmetrical. Okay. Some leading lines. Okay, okay. So it just shows me that okay, you guys have been paying attention. That's good. That's good. So this in the picture on the left, the first picture, we have we actually have both leading lines and rule of thirds, because if we place the grid in this picture, the main subject in the picture on the is in the box top is in the top left box. Then the lines that are in the bricks are leading up to him, as well as that horizontal line that goes to him. So, oh, all right. So yeah, so okay, then the second image now. This one in the train tracks. What do we think is the composition technique being used here? Yeah, Babatola, maybe try logging out and coming in again. Okay, some people say rule of thirds, some people say diagonal triangles. Second is patterns, shapes, patterns, diagonal triangles. Are we sure? Are we all sure that those are our final answers? Okay. So inspired says shapes. Hmm. And so inspired said shapes. Welma said leading lines. Um, um, Former says shapes. Abi Period says patterns. Um, okay, so inspired, Ifoma, NATO, Abdul, Tessa Louise, Thelma, and Thelma and Adeni. I think you guys got it right. You guys got it right. I hear a rumor that you might get prizes. I don't know. But yeah, in this composition, we have shapes. There is actually an S shape because the train track forms an S shape. Yes, Mr. Godwin, I think your hand is up. Do you want to say something?
Okay, sorry. I just wanted to, for the people that you announced as winners, can you just say that again so we can take note of their names?
Okay, I mentioned Adeni Mojisola, or is it Mojishola? And Selma Mesoma, Netochukwu, Nakwe, uh, Cesar Luis, Abdul Hafiz, uh, I've already mentioned Neto, then Abi, Abiper, Leah, Ifoma, and Inspired and Welma. So yeah, those are the people that answered quickest. So so our composition we even have rule of thirds. We have rule of thirds. I don't think, but more people didn't say rule of thirds. Um, but the main composition technique used here is and shapes, patterns, and leading lines, because the S shape is more or less leads to our subject, and the train track forms a pattern or a shape in itself. You can almost cut out that S from this entire image, and who knows, that person's name might even be Sarah, and for someone, the entire image will have a whole lot more meaning than um, you previously may have thought. So yeah. Now, angles are another thing to consider when we are taking photographs. And angles, people may not know this, but angles have their own meaning. And there are like many different angles and let's say framing. You have what we call extreme close-up. I, I don't know why you be taking an extreme close-up of somebody, or well, okay. You have valid reasons to take an extreme close-up. Maybe you want to take a picture of somebody's eyes or somebody's nose, or like picture of a watch, like up close and personal, and maybe of your product. Maybe you want to emphasize, if you sell jewelry, you want to emphasize the shininess of this particular ring, or this of the like, to let people know that this gold is pure gold, or that this diamond is I don't know how many do they do carats for diamond? I don't know. I've not bought diamond yet. So yeah, so if you want to emphasize different things, an extreme close up, all up in the person's face, and the mode, I think iPhones have a macro photography feature that allows you to like it kind of either allows you to go close because you know the camera system for iPhones they have especially I don't know I think like from 13 upwards that have more than one camera. They have like three cameras. The normal camera, macro, then telephoto. Macro is like for you to now get up close and personal. Because if you are using like say my phone for example, if you go too close to an object, it will Kuku even tell you move back so that move back a bit. But with cameras that allow you to okay, thank you, Baba for but with cameras that allow you to take macro photo, that macro is like is like taking I don't even know why they call it macro because it is that you can go close and take pictures that are maybe small, but as you bring your camera close to it, you can take a picture of it. If it's me that was naming things, I would have said micro, but maybe macro sounds a lot nicer, I guess. So yeah, then close up, of course, is like for like maybe if it's a close up of a human being now, we are talking of like from just the person's face, like not more than here. Medium, you would move back a bit. Medium, so okay, so a medium close up, you would just move back small, almost like you're taking a portrait, a passport picture. Then for medium shot, you move back to the point that you're seeing the person's waist. A long shot, you will move all the way back. For that one now, you can take you see the person's whole body, and if they are a group of people, you will now be able to see more people. An extreme long shot is that the person is far, 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 far away. Then a point of view shot or point of view shot is, or as we like to call it, over the shoulder shot is one where we are seeing the person's back and the focus is actually what the person is looking at, not just the person, but we have the person in shot. So so sorry, give me 1 second to change over. Okay, so now the angles that I would say are the most interesting are the I don't like the way they name this here, bird's eye view and worm's eye view. But for simplicity's sake, high angle and low angle. High angle is that you are taking the picture from above the person looking down. And what these, I said that different angles give you different meaning. What doing a bird's eye view or a high angle shot does is now makes either the person or the thing to seem small or timid or not imposing or not scary. So, like, say if you want to take a picture and you want something to appear non-threatening, like say maybe if you want to take a picture of a muscular guy that is being bullied by somebody. If you take on a normal day, if you take a straight picture of that person, it won't appear to be, it won't appear as if he is bullied. But if you go up a bit, he will now start looking smaller than he or she would on a normal day. So that's one of the effects that you get from doing a high angle shot. And sometimes you tell someone to snap picture of you, and maybe the person is excessively tall, and they now snap the picture. You may now be looking shorter than you are in real life. It's because the person is taking the picture from a high angle. Whereas the opposite happens when you do a low angle shot. Now, where you will even see some of it, but not to this extreme, is like when you're doing pictures of bosses or CEOs or guys, or some that you just want to look like if you are taking a picture of a model and she's supposed to be a boss chick, even if the person is shorter than you, if you take that picture from a lower angle and maybe even move in to like say maybe a medium shot that we are not now even seeing the person's leg, you will not, nobody will know that that person is short. Nobody will know. Also to be seeing this person like this, then you must be excessively tall. Then if you apply that for when you're taking pictures of bosses or guy or like a boss chick and whatnot, or even to taking pictures of products, like if you want the product to look like it's expensive, along with your lighting and other things, you use a low angle. It will make it look like it's larger than life, that it's something glorious. Then, of course, not included here, another angle is like just the straight angle, what we call eye level. Like now you not bend your camera, anything, it's just straight on. And that's what you see being used in this medium, long, extreme. All these short examples were done at eye level. Then another example that is not included here is what I like to call the Dutch angle or the tilt angle, where instead of shooting straight, you tilt your camera. So most of the time when people do this, it just sparks it just it communicates that something no balance or something is off or something curious is going on here. So sometimes if you're taking picture of a product or of a person, and you just put it at that, just slant your camera instead of putting it straight, people will be like, what's what's happening? Because you set the observer off balance. So it's either the person would think either the person would think that, oh, okay, something weird is going on, or I should pay more attention to this picture, especially if maybe in a row of straight eye level, eye level, eye level, maybe high angle, low angle pictures. There's one that is now at a Dutch angle. We're like, why is that? Hmm. So, anyways, these are the shooting angles. Now, because at the end of this, I'm going to like do like a mini demo to explain some things. I would we now want to ask, what shooting angle do you think works for you? Like this is a quick poll. Let us know. We kind of, we are kind of using all these things to get some insight and expo into what you guys are doing. So in your own opinion, there's no wrong answer, there's no right answer. Which angle do you think you'd be using the most? Oh, sorry, the last option is top down. Top down, that's a typo on my part. So top down is that you are looking directly, maybe you put a product or an image on a table, on a flat surface, and you are pointing directly down. That is what a top-down angle looks like. So even in that top-down, you might turn the object to be at an angle or keep it straight, but your phone camera is directly on top the of the product looking at it. So just let us know your answers, and remember the last one is top down, top down, top down, top, top down. Then okay, so I believe we can go to the next thing. Using light to take great photos. Light is a is a mobile photographer's best friend. Okay, thank you for quickly, you know, answering the poll. Y'all are awesome. Y'all are awesome. So most of you say you'll be doing low angle. Hmm, okay. Well, I tend to find myself also using the low angle a lot of times. Um, just to make things seem more regal, more propped up. Then I mostly use top downs during product photography. So so yeah, this is telling me one or two things about you guys. So thank you. Thank you for feeling whole and engaging and being engaged in this. It's telling us that okay, you guys are actually learning something. So lights are your secret weapon. It's the thing that can even if your phone is a Java, okay, no, sorry. Java phone cannot, don't use a Java phone, please. So, but lights are the things that will help you to make your images stand out. They are your best friend. So, and we have two major forms of lights, natural lights and artificial lights. They are self-explanatory. Natural light is sun and moon and stars, lights that we find in nature. Artificial are the ones that we use our money to go and buy because we cannot have sun in our office all the time. So, yeah, two major forms of lighting, natural and artificial lighting. And I would say, the most accessible form of artificial lighting is a ring light. And if I was to suggest anybody getting like your first lights, if you don't have any like lights and maybe you want to go into product photography or any form of photography and you don't know which lights to get, I would suggest a ring light because a ring light was it my first light? I think it was the very first light that I bought. Yeah, it was the very first light that I bought before I even knew anything about lighting or photography. Like I used to see all the big, expensive beauty lights that were out there, but a ring light gives you, I would just say a ring light is super versatile and cost efficient, in my opinion, in my personal opinion. It's you don't have to take my word for it. Please don't. So another option is are LED lights. LED lights, and there are some that are RGB that they can be different colors and stuff. I have one here. I have one here. Okay, the background is now allowing me to show it. I have one here. and it's you can use it for both photo and video. So that's one of the reasons why. Oh, I'm sorry. It's called continuous light. In that once you put it on, continue shining. Unlike flashes or speed lights that you have to, it's only when you click it that it will flash and go off. But continuous light is constantly on. Like the one that I have on my screen and this softbox right here. So, but for mobile photography, there are like so many options. You can get the LED ones. Those are like near professional, especially if you are going to be doing product photography. If you are going to be doing product photography, ring lights or LED lights will be your best friends. Then for personal phone use, there are these selfie lights. Selfie lights I have on my screen here that's helping me with lighting myself for this video. I have a light bar that I can scroll up and down, change the direction, the brightness, or the color, but not by much. So yeah, those can help. I will be showing I'll be showing an example where I'm using some of these lights so you guys can see what we can do. Within that same example, we'll do framing, compositing, all the plenty things we have talked about. And maybe perhaps person to we'll walk one person through something similar. Okay, so here's an example of what you can do with artificial lights and some level of creativity. This person wanted to make it, that whole sun kiss type picture that everybody loves. Ah, sun on this my lovely yummy chocolate cake. But the person has this exact type of window. You can see a window behind, but it doesn't look like this. So because the person had something specific in mind, and was creative enough to come up with this. He also had what I would say, oh, that's even the exact same lights that I have. That's the softbox that I have here. And so person did that, didn't use any softening or anything so that it would look harsh, like the way sun looks harsh. Then like that's how the person achieves this shot, but it's with artificial lighting. But if you want to do something similar with natural lighting, window is your friend. And in Nigeria, sun is dealing with us on a daily basis. So we might as well let the sun work for us as well. All this person did is get a nice, clean white cardboard, put the product there, then put it beside the window, and just use okay, this is what we call a diffusion sheet. Or if you just have any um, or scarf, like white scarf, or for special effects, if you can even get a colored scarf. But if you want like this look and a diffusion sheet is not available to you, you can use a white scarf. It's just to soften the light. This harshness that this person had here. It's not. It's fit what the person had in mind. But for this, like say maybe if you want to take pictures and have them, put it up in a catalog, like say maybe you get an opportunity to list your products on Jumia or Gigi or Konga, and they usually request that you have your pictures done in plain white background or transparent background. So just have you can in the example that we even show, I'll use just a white A4 paper and a product, something that I have lying around somewhere. And we'll just demonstrate all of this. And this person is just so not spend any money. And they will have a professional looking picture, especially by the time they now edit it, should come out awesome. Okay. So, okay, we are supposed to try this at this point. Can we Godwin, can you please tell me how much time I have left? So, because there are some other things I would like to get into before we do the demo.
Yeah, okay, so you have 27 minutes more. So let's just say
Jesus.
20 minutes because we still have to wrap up.
Ah, okay, okay. So let's do the demo. I'm going to switch to my phone. Okay, can you guys still hear me? I switching to sharing on my okay. So can we all still see? Can you see my camera? I'm not by my desk, so I can't really. If anybody raises hands, somebody needs to tell me.
Yeah, so we can see your
Okay.
camera.
Okay, okay, good. All right. So this is the we're going to be doing a number of things. As you can see in my own phone camera, the grid is not yet on. So I go
I
to
think your
my own
camera is frozen.
settings. Oh,
Hello?
okay. I think the network I'm using on the phone is a bit slow. Let me switch.
Hi Tonto. So while you are trying to, fix your internet, Godwin, please kindly
Yeah.
put up the poll. So we'll just take your other polls right now, so they can take a stab at it.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
But are you guys able to see my camera now?
No, nothing is showing right now. But the poll is up, so
Mm,
please kindly take a stab at the poll and while he's working on his internet. Thank you.
okay. Okay, so the second poll is what light source is most accessible to you now? Is natural light accessible to you? Do you have a ring light? Do you have LED lights? Do you have a camera flash? Can you buy any of like all these natural light, sorry, like ring lights or LED lights? Can you buy? If you can buy, then it means it's accessible to you. So, well, you might need to know the prices for that, but then again, it's let us know if they are accessible to you. So let me try again. Maybe if I okay, I've stopped sharing here. Maybe if I turn off my video. Are you guys able to? Okay, let me. Okay. I think it stopped. It stopped sharing on my phone. Let me reconnect. Let me rejoin. Okay.
So yes, we can see you now.
Okay. So let me share and allow me to share my. Okay, so can we see? Are we able to see?
Yes, we can see your screen.
So I am going into the settings of my camera, and I did that by just going to like this gear beside the camera. This is just their way of saying camera settings. Then go to more settings, then scroll down to grid. And if your phone also has this framing hints, it's good. So it will tell you like the angle that you are viewing yourself in. Then all this stuff like that's not our concern right now. So grade 3 by 3 grid. So you see, I mentioned, the golden ratio thing that I mentioned. Some phone cameras will allow you to set that as your grid. So if you turn it on, let's go to, back to the camera. So the golden ratio is almost like the normal rule of thirds, only slightly different, just slightly different. But yeah, we are sticking to the 3 by 3 grid, which is the rule of thirds. Okay, so I will be I'll be using natural light. That's the light coming out of this window. If it was like earlier in the day, it was already evening. If it was earlier in the day, the sun would be coming in from here. But by this time, there is no sun coming in. So I have this plank. You may have a desk or something, but I just want to use the plank so that I can, be a lot closer to the window. And, I'll just put this sheet of white paper here. It's not hurting anybody. Then the products that I want to take here. Then I'll grab another piece of white paper and, just something that can help me to prop it up. Um, so like that, I have gotten what should essentially be a, like a let's say like a studio lighting setup. Then, using the low angle, I come down, looking upwards at the product. Then I take a picture. I could zoom in, move, move a little bit so that you will notice that the cap is now intersecting on one of the grids, and I take the picture. And all of this has been achieved using one light, using just one light. There's something that we call a 3-point lighting system, where you use three lights, to this is like the standard, will I call it industry way of lighting products using three lights. Your main bright lights, then there will be like just a small, what we call rim lights. It can be a colored light or it can be another white light so that is the product is standing out from the background. So now, if I take a picture, it kind of more, it looks a lot more premium. And to editing, we can clean out these lines that have formed at the back. We can clean them out. But in that 3-point lighting that I just mentioned, your brightest light is what we call the key lights. Brightest light is the key light. So most of the time your product or your subject will be facing that light. Then your backlight, it's always a good practice to let your backlight to be a different color so as it will help you to make it stand out. Then if the contrast, like if the image is looking a bit too that what we call you can bring in a third light to be what we call a fill light because it is filling in shadows. Now this extension is okay. So if I put the extension cursor and plug it in, and you notice these are all continuous lighting because I'm not using a professional. This is a phone. I cannot use a flash. Although there's some flashes that they've kind of created an app that you can use and synchronize it with your phone. So now I have what we call a 3-point lighting system. Natural light from outside, a backlight that is artificial, and a fill light that is overdoing itself. So I'll bring down the brightness of it because, like I said, your key light is supposed to be your brightest light. So I'll just reduce the percentage of this to like maybe 10%. Then now, if we take the product picture, and be sure to like when you're taking the picture, just have the place where the place that should be, will I say the darkest part or the lightest part, so that your camera will adjust the exposure so that it's not too bright. Then with this same lighting that we have, I can now even do a up down. Um, um, so the next thing I would start thinking of is how I'm going to edit the pictures. What am I, what are we going to do to, what do I need to do to optimize them, to make them work for where I want to post it? So that's really just a quick demo on the power that lighting has. But okay, let me share again. But you can see that
Sorry,
it doesn't have to.
sorry, sorry,
Okay,
I don't mean for interrupting your thought, but there is a question that says, is there a
okay,
way you use the iPhone camera for an illustration as well? So that when you are done, so that you don't lose sight of that question, just bear that in mind.
okay. So I was going to say that whoever has, because I said that I would like for one of us to, also do a demo if you have access to, even if it's natural light. Even if it's natural light, so that we could, it won't just be me talking. Let's see what your own situation is and how we can best use the resources that we have.
So, I mean, so
But
that the
if you would
demo,
notice,
it's likely that everybody is dark right now because I don't know what it is. I mean,
oh,
but if they have natural light, they should. But maybe the person then should also have an iPhone because the question is, can you use an iPhone for a demo? So you can guide us through how to use an iPhone for the same kind of picturing.
okay, I do not have an iPhone. I
So maybe
was contemplating,
beforehand,
buying an iPhone for this. training
No, no,
session,
no.
but
What I'm
the
saying
price
is that
choke.
what I'm saying is
So,
that if one of the participants has an iPhone, maybe would you be able to walk us through how we can get the same effect on an iPhone so that or you would
okay. So if you would notice, okay, I can do that now. I could just explain.
okay.
So thank you. So thank you. So thank you very much for that question. Um, so on an iPhone, if you notice, all I did, I didn't even use any of the modes or anything. I just used the default photo mode. Like say if you were using an iPhone, you can leave the camera on the default photo mode. Make sure your grid is on. We've already explored how to turn on the grids so that you can see where you can position your like the subject in your image. Then the only thing that may do differently, and this one you can also do it on your Android device, is if you want the picture to look softer. Like for example, if it was food that I was taking photographs of, like say, oh, let me okay, no, let me not go into another demo. But if it was say food or something delicate like jewelry now that we were taking photographs of, instead of using the default photo mode, you can use portrait. Go to go to portrait mode. Make sure it's set to natural light. If you were using a 3-point lighting system like what we have here, switch to studio lights because it's almost like a studio. It's pretty much a studio setup that we've kind of a mini studio setup that we just created here with two A4 papers and a Scrabble board. But with all of these things that we just did here, with some little editing and some, just to clean up the crease on the background. And like I say, maybe if I was a bit more will I say conscious about it, I wouldn't have even let that crease to show. But for the sake of showing how we will edit that out, um yeah, I just left it there. But if we cropped this in editing, cleaned up that line that is there, you have a working, usable product image that you can use to market your products on social media or whichever sites that you choose to market it. And like in the you can see that with the pictures with natural lights, the pictures with natural lights, they seem to be a bit darker, but by the time we go into editing and stuff, we can we can bring out the brightness. One rule that you need to, um, I would say, let's emphasize is that a dark image can be recovered. 2 minutes more. Okay, a dark image can be recovered or worked on or edited, but an image that is too bright cannot, because you can it's easier to brighten up a picture than it is to lower the brightness. So that's a tip for when you're taking pictures. And good thing, a lot of cameras, a lot of our phone cameras, when you're in a very bright situation, it will help you to lower the brightness a bit. It's just that it doesn't do that for sky. So if you are doing landscape pictures or exteriors, or you're taking pictures of buildings, I will demo, I think because there's a session where we'll be talking about landscape photography. So I will show tricks that will help you to be able to still take the pictures of sky like you, so that you can still have clouds and so to still be showing, and you won't lose that detail. So so yeah, I think we have already walked us through 3-point lighting, and we built our own inexpensive mini studio, and yeah, we more or less even recreated what we have here, but with fewer equipment. Um, Other equipments. So in rounding up, I would say things that maybe you should look if you are going to be doing, especially products. If things that I would say you should look to acquiring that will help up your game in future when, let's say, if funds allow, get a ring light, at least one artificial light, because like now we're in the dark at this particular point in time. If you had a deadline to take pictures of your products, you might be stuck. So, but if you had something like a ring light or some form of artificial lighting, it would save you. I would personally recommend LED lights, because maybe one day you want to go into vlogging or stuff. It can You can use it for multiple different things. Ring lights are also good, and they are budget friendly. Then a reflector can help you to, instead of when you have one light, reflector will help you to reflect that light, so it will even seem as if you have two or three. And I'll find another. I'll fit in another session. Maybe if I'm able to get a model in, and we would explore all these uses of a reflector. So yeah, thank you very much. Thank you for uh taking the time and giving your attention. I think at this point we can take questions.
Thank you so much,
My
Mrs. So
video wasn't on.
can you hear me? I said
Yes,
thank
yes,
you
I
so
can.
much, Mr. So that was a very, very engaging session. Like I learned a lot myself about camera angles, camera lighting, camera composition. And I believe a lot of us have learned new techniques on how to elevate our business products, online, using lightning. I think I need a ring light myself, because this was very, 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 very engaging. Thank you so much. So we have some frequently asked questions. Uh, However, you have answered one, because I can see that a lot of participants are using iPhones, right? So if possible, maybe in your next session, you could, if you could get an iPhone camera to sort of, do a demo, that would be really helpful to everybody here. Also, some of the participants are asking that they need a link, to submit their assignment. They are really eager, to submit their assignment, and that's a positive feedback. It means, you're carrying everybody along. And as you take a deeper dive into the section, it gets more engaging. Everybody is really excited. I could see a lot of questions and some compliments as well. As well, a lot of people are saying, "Oh, that this is really interesting." Also, I would like to implore every one of us here, if you are not on the WhatsApp platform, please, we could share a link so that you could join the WhatsApp platform. It's really engaging, so that you could get along, network with other learners as well. And also, there are a lot of things going on that are really beneficial to this training. Also, some people got to win gifts. Wow, that was really impressive. And this is something that could, happen as we proceed in the session. I mean, like we mentioned, we're also going to be rewarding people, some participants with data, people that joined early, people that stayed throughout the session. I mean, that's really, really beautiful. And also, we also are going to give some persons cash prizes, that based on the output of the assignment at the end of the mobile photography course. That's really something I believe every one of us should look forward to. Also, please follow us on all our social media platforms. Adara Foundation on LinkedIn, Adara Foundation on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, and yes, we also look forward to having every one of us here Same time next Saturday, we're also considering mobile photography. So thank you everyone for being a part of this training session. We hope to see you all guys next weekend. If you have any other questions you'd like to ask your facilitators, please do not hesitate to put it in the WhatsApp platform. He's also on the WhatsApp group. He'll be willing to and happy to, answer some of the questions you have. Thank you so much. And we love you all and we hope to see you next weekend, same time. Bye, everyone.